Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. Who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And who is he? Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. And what he do? And he's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. And by board-certified, it means I'm an expert in criminal law. I go to trial, and I win, and that's what I do. And I'm coming to you with my pearl-handle pistol cufflinks given to me by our content genius, Michael Rivers. So before we get into this is breaking news. We're going to be reacting to the Darrell Brooks verdict. But before we do, this episode, like everyone, is brought to you by what? eForms.com. eForms.com. Let's say you have a buddy of yours, and he is, just a super nice guy, but he lives in your basement and he won't get out. He's not paying rent, he's cooking meth, and he's banging your grandma in the basement. Well, you want to get him out of there. Well, go get an eviction form from eForms.com. And they've got it for every state. Don't pay a guy like me because I would just go to eForms.com and charge you a shit ton of money. So cut that out and just go to eForms.com. You need a power of attorney, you need a rental agreement, a loan agreement, whatever you need, go to eForms.com and they'll take good care of you and you'll save a shit ton of money. So, all right, that being said, before we get to the breaking news, the verdict is in on Darrell Brooks, I want to give a shout out to Alex. Alex is one of our, I don't want to say proteges, but he's one of our fans. He sent me a direct message on Instagram. This is what he said. Hey, Bruce, an update. I'm doing great in law school. I've gotten minimum distinctions for my marks. I've also decided to swap my interest from wanting to be a prosecutor to a criminal lawyer. There you go. Because I think some people out there are genuinely being treated unfairly by their charges. Oh, and one other thing, I completely butchered my opening arguments, blah, blah. He gives us a little story. But kudos to Alex. He's an awesome dude. He's inspired by our channel. He talked to us, I think, a year ago or so, saying that he decided to go into law school because of our channel. I want more people to do that. Build, build, build. That's my message. All right, and remember, we got a new merch store on Bonfire. You can see it in the description below. We got hats, we got bucket hats, we got hoodies, we got everything you need. So just go to Bonfire to get the merch. All right, when you're waiting, when you get a word that there's a verdict, and I'm actually waiting for a verdict as we speak, and you get a word that there's a verdict, you go into the courtroom. Now you're waiting for the jury to come back. Your fucking palms are sweaty. And your heart is pounding because you don't know what it is, and it really is nerve-wracking.
And I have confirmed that there are 76 signed verdicts.
Oh, so what the judge was doing, she was going through all the verdict forms. So for each count, there will be a verdict form, and there are 76 counts in this particular indictment.
And 76 unsigned verdicts.
So you've got guilty and not guilty. So on all the counts, whatever they are, you've got the signed ones for those counts, and then you've got the opposite for the unsigned ones.
Which would be what I would expect. All right, I will read each one into the record. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information. Dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson, juror number 11.
And we'll just listen to the first 5, just so you can get a flavor of what's going on.
If you find the defendant guilty of first-degree intentional homicide, answer the following question, yes or no. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
And here the car is a dangerous weapon.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 2 of the information. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
And when the judge uses the term information, that's like an indictment or a complaint. It's just the charging instrument.
Burn in hell, you piece of shit.
Hey, you are to be removed right now. You will not.
So somebody in the background just called him a piece of shit. Now, aside from the truth of the matter asserted, you can't do that in court. And it doesn't help anybody that, but the emotions are running high, and the judge, is kicking that guy out, as the judge should.
Do that. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 3 of the information. And I should state as to count 2, it was signed and dated. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 4 of the information. Dated this 26th day of October 2022, signed by the foreperson. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes. We, the jury, find the defendant, Darrell E. Brooks, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 5 of the information, dated today's date and signed by the foreperson. Did the defendant commit first-degree intentional homicide while using a dangerous weapon? Answer, yes.
So, on the first 5, actually, it's guilty. I'm not going to go through all 76 of them because it's arduous. But the judge has to read every single one into the record. And so you've got 5 counts of first-degree intentional homicide. That means 5 consecutive life sentences. I don't think the judge has any discretion. So let's kind of buzz through.
Members of the jury, I'm going to ask each one of you individually to stand up, identify your number for the record, and then state whether the verdicts read in open court are your true verdicts.
So what the judge is doing there is she's asking, it's whether you want to poll the jury. And that's something that they do at the end of the case to make sure that everybody is on record saying this is their true and correct verdict.
Start with the foreperson.
We're not going to go through all those. So we'll close it out there. So what the judge is going to do is set it on for sentencing, and you're going to have, it's going to be a long sentencing. It'd probably be a couple days, maybe a day. You're going to have 76 people or 76 impact statements. You're going to have, I mean, that's a lot. And I don't know what Brooks is going to present for his defense and mitigation, but I don't think the judge is going to have any choice but sentence him to life without parole. So this has been our reaction to the verdict, the breaking news. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, sign up for Patreon, and make sure you look at the bonfire link below and get your relatives, your friends, your homies, anybody, get anybody some merch, and so we can start representing around the country, so we can just get merched up so we can represent.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please, is that my God.